Hello, my loves. How are you doing today? I hope that you're good, that your family and your loved ones are healthy, happy, and safe. So, I'm coming back to you today with another pick a card reading. And in this reading, we're going to look into your father, your relationship with them, and if there is any impact that this relationship still has on you up to this day in your adult life. So, you can pick one option or more out of those four cards. And of course, if you would need more time, you can just pause the video, meditate on those options and see which one or which ones are going to be today yours to watch. As for me, I'm going to start right away with the first option. Hello, my dear, option number one. So if you have chosen the first card, welcome guys to your reading. And the first thing that I have heard about your father, I wanted to give you those messages first before getting any cards. And the first message is about, I'm hearing strategy. So I feel like your father had this idea that if we haven't achieved something, or if we haven't or realized or created something that we're going to be remembered for, it's like our life is in vain, or the only thing that matters in our life is wasted, or we have absolutely no value. And I feel like when it comes to your father, it really was something that they were very much focused on, and it could be different for many of you. For some of you, it could be that your father had actually had the capacity to create something of value, or as an example, if they are like if they created a business, if they created something, or maybe if they have achieved some sort of a high level, depending on their own definition of what a high level would mean. I feel like for you, I really feel like they have made it very clear that if you're not the doctor, the engineer, the business owner, the successful person in the most practical material way, you are a nobody. So this is something that this is also a standard that they hold on themselves as well. So it could be for some of you, as I have said earlier, that they have achieved this particular level that they aspired into achieving, and they are very much proud. I feel a lot of pride, and also a lot of I'm hearing genuine love for the thing that they have achieved. And for others that they haven't achieved maybe this level, it's almost like they are laser focused, or they have been laser focused when you were growing up into instructing you, or for some of you being very rigid into pushing you into getting there, or into pushing you to realize a dream that they haven't been able to achieve. And it's something that they almost like envelop themselves around this idea or around this image, and it's everything that they hold up as their own value. So for some of you, as an example, that they feel like they have failed into getting into this particular level, like a part of you, like this particular like dream that they have, it's almost like they see you as that, or it's a part of who they are, like like almost like a part of you is like included in their own identity. And it's for some of you, it could be something that it wasn't really easy, because they see what you can be, and they see how they're gonna feel while you being the person that they wanted you to be, more than anything else. So first of all, before getting any more messages, this is the message that I wanted to start off with, but I forgot. But I wanted to let you know that sometimes when we think about fatherhood and motherhood, it's a very perfect idea that we hold when it comes to those concepts. But there is absolutely no such a thing as a perfect mother or a perfect father. Because in any source of community or society, we are not perfect based on our own norms and our own maybe ideas on what perfection is. And obviously, our relationships with our parents or with anybody else, they are not perfect as well. They are not supposed to be. So in this particular reading, we're just gonna see what are the things that you need to reflect on, and what are the things that you need to actually think about when it comes to your father and your relationship with them. if there is any impact that this relationship has on you at this particular moment on your adulthood. And also, I wanted to end this reading with some messages, if there is anything that you can do so that you can depart from anything that no longer serves you, and like move on from any source of negative effect that maybe this connection or the information that you have received from your father still holds on you. So let's get one card. Who was your father? Who is your father, or who was your father? The Star, a dreamer, yes. Look at that, hope and the Star. They feel like they cannot be anchored in this life, in their life, if this dream or if this idea that they have on themselves is not created and it's not realized. It's really something that it's almost everything evolves or turns around this particular hope, or maybe this particular dream that they have, or the thing that they want to create. Those two cards are very clear, and I feel like with those flowers that this woman is letting go of, and as you can see in here, she's still holding on this last rose. I feel like roses, generally speaking, they're a symbol of hope, just as this card says. And I feel like them having children, them having maybe like a continuation on like their legacy, I'm hearing, it's giving them hope that the dream that they wanted, it's not, I'm hearing it's not all lost. Or for some of you, as an example, that your father, they have achieved something quite grandiose. I feel like seeing you as a continuation of the things that they have built. And as you can see in here, this ship is coming into the shore. So it like having children and having like a legacy for them in their mind actually allows them like opens the doors of a continuation. All right, so let's get some more cards. What do you need to know about your father? Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups in reverse. I feel like there was a lack of expression of emotions. I really feel like your father, they see emotions not in the very good way. And also I feel like when it comes to their children, especially if you are a female, but it doesn't matter, but this is more so if you are a female, being independent, being a go-getter, being the professional, being the person that is going to be creating wonders on this world, like in their life, it's all that matters. Like emotions, they have no place. Emotions, they take us back. This is really what I see. Like when it comes to them, they felt from a very young age that emotions, they held them back more than they have pushed them forward. And this is something that maybe they have like said that like directly, or this is something that you have understood and something that you held from the information that you have absorbed from their behavior or from like a literal thing that they have said to you. Let me get one more. Page of Swords is all about message communication, and it's like something that I'm hearing that your father, they did not take the time to develop a healthy emotional connection with others, and they are emotionally almost like they grew up in an emotionally unfulfilled environment. And for them, it's all about how I appear. It's all about the image. It's all about what I communicate, like the message that people get when they are around them. It's as an example, if they have the status, if they have the house, the car, like all the signals that signify that they have achieved a good level in their life. But when it comes to their emotions, it really was something that was neglected. First of all, for them, I feel like your father really did not get the nurturing or did not absorb this warm environment that they needed as a child. So, as an example, they might have been into some sort of a board school, or they might have left the household at a very young age, or also they might have lost their mother, or the person really that was supposed to give them this nurturing or maybe this emotional warmth. They lost this person at a very young age. So I feel like they have been stuck emotionally in a certain place in their life where it was not possible for them to grow emotionally into develop themselves in terms of how they express their emotions, or how open they are in terms of like being sad, being like in love, being all those kind of things. They were almost like as a part in a part of themselves that was very, very much deeply repressed. So what was the impact that they had on you? What was the impact that they had on you? Six of Wands. Yeah, I want to be successful. I want to achieve. I want to appear as someone that is a successful person. So the Six of Wands, I feel like your father, they have an ego, and their ego also is dictating maybe the decisions that they have made in their life in terms of how they want to be portrayed in front of people. And I feel like you are a part of the whole, and you are a part of this chain that they have elaborated and that they have created. So I feel like for you, you feel like, I want to make my father proud, I want to make my family proud. It's most like almost like your decisions, they are not really yours 100%, but it's also like how it's going to be translated in terms of how my family is going to appear, how my father is going to see it, how, in all those kind of ideas that you have around the things that you want to do, or the things that you feel deep down that you are passionate about. But at the same time, you want to think about, like, is it going to be giving me the things that would make this person like my father? Or for some of you also, I wanted to let you know that it could be also someone that you looked up to as a father. So even for those of you that maybe you lived with an uncle, or you lived with your grandfather, or whatever the case might be, this is like the energy of the father that we are talking about right now. So the Six of Wands is all about success. It's all about being looked up to. It's all about having a following, like being the example that people take. So this is really the effect that your father, they had on you. The Hermit. So when it comes to anything that is of value, anything that has a connection with the truth of who you are, it's deeply repressed. Again, it's not something that you feel like it could be well received by others, or it doesn't matter who you truly are. All that matters, and all that what people care about is how you look, how you like appear. And this is really what you have understood. I'm not saying in here because we are looking solely or like only on the effect that maybe your connection with your father it has on you at this particular moment. You feel like your true self, your true desires, this side of you that is maybe quirky, that is funny, that is full of life, that is full of joy, it's not really something that is of interest to other people. All that is interesting to others, and also to yourself at this particular moment, is maybe getting the degree, getting the promotion, advancing to the next level, maybe getting a better living environment, like upgrading your circumstances. And this is all that matters to you. I'm not saying that it's all that matters to you as an like in an absolute way. Again, this is, we are just talking about the effect that this connection it had on you when it comes to your desires, and when it comes to how you feel about yourself in your life. Here we have the Knight of Cups. In the Knight of Cups, it's a gentle offer. And in here, I feel like when it comes to you, especially romantically, you are, it's very, I wanted to, because this particular message is a little bit on the grayer side. It's not really black and white, but I see in here you are calculating when it comes to connecting with others, when it comes to maybe looking for a partner, looking for the person that you want to spend your life with. And I feel like it is a good quality, but I'm hearing in here that you are taking it to the next level. I feel like when it comes to your emotions, they're taking the back seat. It's almost like they're the last thing that you are thinking about when you meet someone. Like, is this person matches me in terms of this and this and that? If they are not, then there's absolutely no way for us to be together. And with this Knight of Cups, I feel like this cup of love, it comes from a place of let's make things happen together. Let's try to continue what we have started, or let's join forces together, which is a good thing. But again, your emotions really are, I'm hearing that they are to a certain degree a little bit neglected. So let's see what you can do right now. What can you do? Is there anything that you can do so that you can depart from this feeling, or maybe from this way of being? Because I feel like at a certain point, you feel like you want to be with a person because they match certain criteria. But at the same time, when you are with them, or when you are like looking at being with them, like at a very young at a very early age of your stage of your connection, I feel like in here you are reminiscent of maybe an idea, or maybe a situation where this bond is going to be deeper, or this bond is going to be like fulfilling to you, because emotionally, again, you are gravitating around connections that make sense, but emotionally they are not fulfilling to you. That's why you feel like there is something that is off, and I don't know what it is. Like, why am I like at this like at first very much set on a person, because I feel like this is a great kind of person that I want to be with. But when you are together, or when you start dating, like you feel like that there is something that is off between the both of you. With those two cards, again, I just want to emphasize on the effects. Generally speaking, I feel like image, it was very much emphasized from your childhood, directly from your father. This is something that you have understood, but right now you are almost you are hoping to be in a relationship that is deeper than the surface, with someone that you love, someone that you enjoy, because you are craving this emotional bond that maybe you haven't really created with a lot of people in your life, especially with your father. I feel like, and this is something that I would like to let you know of, when it comes to your father, just think about them not receiving the things that you wanted from them. So it's all about you reflecting on what you want yourself, and departing from a state that is not fulfilling to a state that is better to you. But when it comes to your father, sometimes we feel a little bit frustrated, like, why wasn't my father close to me, or emotionally available, or just very harsh in terms of pushing me towards a direction that I wasn't really interested into getting into. It could be a field of work or anything else. This is something, it's almost like you're asking water from somewhere that is thirsty, like that has been thirsty all their life. So this is really not something that your father could have given to you, because it's not something that they have received themselves. What can you do? Page of Pentacles. I feel like when it comes to you, first of all, with this Eight of Swords, the information that has been given to you in this particular reading in itself is going to open your eyes maybe to seeing things differently, or seeing the source of certain things maybe that you have been doing and not understanding, or certain things that they have been confusing you for a very long time. And with this Eight of Swords, the information in itself has the power maybe to disconnect you from certain behaviors or certain feelings that you don't want to feel, or you don't want maybe to some certain choices that you don't want to take. Knowing the source, this is an information that allows you to depart from a certain way of being to maybe a new, very timid, very shy beginning that is going to be allowing you to see color. Look how bright this card is as compared to all the colors in here. All the cards, so bright, so shiny, so luminous. And I feel like with this Page of Pentacles, this is try to make a different decision, one simple first decision. I feel like in here, if you have been thinking about starting to do something just for the sake of it, without any connection to this particular thing, to your success, to how it's gonna be looking like, to anything else, do it. Just if you have this nudge to do it, go ahead and do it just for the sake of doing it. As an example, if you want to learn a new language and you feel like this language is not going to serve me in my career, it's not going to serve me in anything, it's like absolutely useless, from this place of maybe looking at things just if they are pushing you into the next level or not, the card is asking you to do it regardless and to see where it's going to lead you. I really see a lot of growth, a lot of opening of possibilities. If you were to think about, is there anything that I want to do just for the sake of doing it? Not because I want to excel in it, not because I want to advance in my career if I'm going to be getting it, not for nothing else, just for the sake of doing it, for the sake of feeling like, oh, if I'm going to do it, like it feels good, it feels exciting. So this is really what I see for you. I feel like also detaching from this need to almost strengthen the family idea. This is something that you're gonna depart from with this Knight of Cups and the Eight of Swords gradually. So don't feel like you are not making any movement. Look at things that are going to be allowing you to look at things differently, or to enjoy things differently. And it's really going to be this transition for you. Most particularly, it's going to be gradual, and it's not going to be shocking like one day you're going to wake up and do something absolutely out of your comfort zone. This is not what I see for you. Anything else? Any last message, please? Anything else? The Sun, absolutely. Your own happiness. This is, the Sun is a very individualistic card. It's the card of me. I am looking for my own happiness. I am creating the happiness that I want to live in my own life. And this is the departure from something that has been put on you, to you creating your own life that is going to be making you happy and truly, deeply fulfilled. All right. So that was your reading, my dear option number one. If you would like to book your own private reading, you can book it directly through the website that is shared in the description box. Let me know in the comment section down below how the messages resonated with you. I always love to read your comments. For your support, you can donate, and also you can subscribe to the channel to be notified when a new video is going to be up. And for your daily and weekly messages and monthly giveaways, you can follow me on Instagram. The link to my Instagram and all the links that I have mentioned, again, they are in the information box. So that was your reading. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will connect with you next time. Bye. Hello, my dear option number two. So if you have chosen the second card, welcome guys to your reading. So first of all, before getting any information about your father and your connection with them, I wanted just to introduce the message in a way that in our mind and also in our society, sometimes we hold the concepts of motherhood and fatherhood up to like a standard that is impossible to achieve. We are imperfect beings by like in our conception and also in our behavior. Ourselves, we are not perfect. So asking perfection from like a father or a mother or whatever the case might be, It's really not something that makes sense. And when it comes to this particular reading, why I have been called into doing it is for you to look at those maybe concepts that you have built yourself on, that have a connection with your father, or with your relationship with them, or with the information that you have received from them directly or indirectly that right now still has an impact on you. And we would like to know, lastly, in the reading, how you can depart from those maybe behaviors or those effects that this particular relationship has on you up until now, like even right now in this particular moment. So I'm not looking into maybe the things that are helping you at this particular moment, but more so the things that are restraining you or keeping you keeping you back in terms of your path. So this is just to help you maybe to depart from those effects and to move on to better things. So the first thing that I have heard when it comes to your father, it's anger. Anger. So I feel like your father, they might have this tendency to like have this burst of anger, of lashing out. Maybe when it comes to your mother, or when it comes to your connection, like your parents' relationship, generally speaking, it was quite volatile. It's either that one maybe was taking too much on their shoulder, and I'm hearing that sometimes it was your mother, sometimes it was your father. It's really something that has changed with time, but most particularly when it comes to your father, I feel like they might had this bursts of anger, like lashing out. And also I feel like when it comes to them, they're not someone really that expresses their desires like directly. They almost like feel like the other person needs to actually know, needs to maybe get to the things that they wanted even before them saying anything. So it could be for some of you that your father, maybe they have been raised, or they are very traditional in terms of how they see maybe the roles within like the family, or what you are supposed to do, what your mother is supposed to do, or I feel like they had this idea, and sometimes like they keep their calm. I feel like for a certain period, and then they lash out. Like I feel like almost like a volcano that explodes, and it's really something that makes like the child, or more specifically you, feel on a very unstable ground. Like you don't know where, when, or how this bomb is gonna explode or go off. It is really something that you feel almost like very cautious. And sometimes, if you feel even right now cautious around people, I'm hearing this particular behavior of your father, or this way of being when it comes to them, maybe like getting almost like recharged, like saying okay, and then exploding. I really feel like it's something right now that has an impact on you in terms of maybe not wanting to step on other people's toes, or if you feel like there is something that you want, you prefer not to compete with others, or not really to make other people maybe angry or irritated, even if it's your right, even if it is something that it's okay for you to go for. This is really what I see. So yeah, I feel like your father, they might had maybe like two faces, like a face that is calm, a face that like everything is okay, and there another face where like everything like explodes around them. So let's get one card. Who is your father? The Empress. Was your father like an only child, or the only male in their family, or someone that was the favorite? I'm hearing the favorite when it comes to your grandmother, more specifically. I feel like this person, they might have been maybe a good example in their family, or they got the things that they wanted whenever they wanted. I feel like when it comes to them growing up, they have been very much catered to when it comes to, especially when it comes to their relationship with their mother. Yeah. sweetheart. I feel like when it comes to their mother, they can't do no wrong, I'm hearing. So I feel like when it comes to them, they almost like feel that the other people, they need to understand the thing that they want even before them saying anything. And with this lover, I'm hearing they have reached a point where there was no way for them to be satisfied, or to be for them to see the things that are around them as they always have something to say, as in maybe if your mother or yourself or anyone really, they prepare something or they do something, they always have something to critique, they always have something to say. And it's really something like they hold other people on a like they have high standards in terms of what other people should do. And I'm hearing it's coming from a place where they did, like, no matter what they do, they can't do anything wrong. And this is really something that comes from their own childhood, how they grew up, how more specifically, how your grandmother behaved, or maybe what they have understood from their connection with their mother. Anything else, please? Page of Cups. And the Three of Pentacles. I feel like with this Three of Pentacles, we are family no matter what, but sometimes with this idea of no matter what, it comes a lot of negativity, and it comes a lot of low respect of other people's boundaries. I really feel like this whole connection with your father, with their family, and also within your own family unit, it's an issue of boundaries. So no matter what, we are family, no matter how far we cross each other's boundaries, no matter what we say to each other, still we are family. And I feel like it's really something that you haven't really understood, or something that hurt you at a certain point, like in certain maybe arguments with your father, or even like when your father and your mother, maybe they have when they were arguing, like hurtful words were exchanged. So like the arguments, they were very like certain very hurtful words were said, but still they, like your father, and also I'm hearing also your mother, they believe that, oh, but we are family, like we are standing like behind each other, and no matter what, like it's nothing really, it's too bad for us maybe to question, like being like all of us being a family, or question maybe our connection. And this is really something that again, if you have certain concepts about being the good partner, the good friend, the good co-worker or employee, I'm hearing no matter what. And there is no such a thing as no matter what when it comes to other people, maybe crossing like the most basic requirements, which is respect. Like respect is like the base on which we build anything, and respect was very much lacking in your family unit. That's why I feel like sometimes there were big bursts of anger, of maybe screaming very bad words, and really saying hurtful things to each other. So let's get some more cards, and now let's look into what is the effect that this connection had on your life as an adult. The Sun. Seeing the bright side in anything, even if there is no bright side. I feel like, as an example, if you had a friend that really was not a friend, for you friendship is like, but we are friends. we cannot let go of each other. It's no matter what. Like, even if this friend, they were disrespectful, they were not really looking at your own best interest, they were doing certain things maybe that you knew deep down that they were not okay. I'm hearing being connected and sticking with the concept more so than sticking with the actual connection, what it's bringing to you and what you are bringing to the other person. And I feel like it's the same when it comes to how things were when you were growing up. Like, no matter what, we are family right now. Like, no matter what, we are friends. Like, we have been friends for a very long time. And even if the other person is gonna do something or they have done something that was not okay, like, it's okay. We're still friends. We're still friends. So let's get some more cards. And I feel like also with this Sun card, sometimes you let go of certain opportunities to feel better, to be in better circumstances in terms of your social life, but also professionally, just for you to keep things, I'm hearing keep things stable and keep like the harmony within the environment that you are in. As an example, if someone wants maybe a certain position and they are your coworker, you have been coworkers for a very long time, you prefer not to go for the same position because you feel like, oh, like they were interested in that first, so I guess it's okay, I'm gonna look into that maybe afterwards, or it's not really important. So let's see if there is anything else. Nine of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So with Nine of Wands, it's the card of boundaries. It's the card of you trying not to allow things to crumble. And again, you feel like sometimes you can let certain things slip. You can let certain people or certain maybe situations to continue being, or maybe to continue happening, even if you feel like deep down it's not okay. With this King of Pentacles, it's a very stern card. It's the card of longevity. And it's the card also of, if I'm going to be giving you this position, it's yours. Unless you decide otherwise. So as an example, if you decide that someone is your friend, they are your friend no matter what, unless they decide that you are not their friend anymore, or that you are an employee, unless your boss or maybe the situation is going to change in a way that you're not going to be working in this particular place. So I feel like you connect with the concept more so than you connect with the situation, with the behavior, with the actual person. And this is really something that is very much emphasized in those three cards, and something that you might need to look into. And also feel like with those two cards, again, you prefer not to step on other people's toes, or to keep things just the way that they are, because you feel like if I'm going to be saying something, things are going to get worse. Or if I'm going to be like stepping on someone's toes, maybe I'm going to be ruining this relationship forever. And you prefer to keep things to yourself and not change anything. So what can you do? What can you do so that you can depart from those effects? What can you do? Knight of Swords. Okay, those two. I feel like when it comes to the truth, there is no confusion about the truth. There is no gray areas when it comes to the truth. I feel like if there's a behavior, if there is a behavior, if someone is going to be telling you something that is not okay, I feel like the first step that is needed at this particular moment, more so, or even before thinking about what you can do about it, is to allow yourself to see it. Is it something that I want? Is it really, does it feel good? Is it really something that's it's really not nice? Is it something that my friend, or a friend that I want to be with, like I want a person that I want to be friends with for a very long time? Is it something that a true friend would say Or is it a behavior that a true friend would do? Is it like, when it comes to, as an example, maybe a position that you and your coworker would want to go for? The first, before even like thinking about what option to take or what is the choice that you're going to be making at the end, is it right for me to go for it? Is it like, is it something bad if I'm going to be going for it? Like, the truth is key in here. The truth of your own behaviors and behaviors of others is key before making any sorts of decision. And I feel like any information that you are, or any behavior, or any maybe criticism, whatever the case might be, there is a need for you not to connect it with the connection that you have with the person, but more so to see it for what it is. If I wasn't friends with this person, if I had no connection to them, would that be all right for this person to say those words, or for them to maybe to behave in a certain way? I feel like this is like the first thing that is needed from you, and afterwards things are going to be much easier for you. Like with this sun card, things are going to be illuminated to you, because I feel like when you connect a behavior, or when you connect something that is happening to you with an actual concept that is unchangeable, there is no way for you to think of any maybe departure from it, or to say anything about it, because the concept is bigger than anything that might happen. So this is what I see. So if you were to take this particular information in, what is gonna happen? What is gonna happen? Yeah, lightness. I'm hearing lightness. I feel like there is a lot of repression, a lot of taking things on yourself and not saying anything. People maybe say, like someone saying a word that is hurtful, and for you to just bite your tongue and not say anything about it. I see a lot of lightness, and also I see a lot of spontaneity in terms of connecting with others. And I feel like also you might meet a lot of people that are gonna appreciate your good nature, and are gonna be, because the Fool is a very, very light card. And with the Aquarius also, it's like the image of youth, the image of lightheartedness. I feel like it's gonna be allowing you also to meet people that are more considerate, and for you also to be more considerate towards yourself. Like if there is anything that is not okay, you're gonna be much more spontaneous and much more like expressing yourself in a lighter way. All right, so that was your reading, my dear. Option number 2. If you would like your own private reading, you can book it directly through the website that is shared in the description box. Please let me know down below how the messages resonated with you. I always love to read your comments. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate through the super thanks button on YouTube, or through the donation link in the description box. For your daily and weekly messages and monthly giveaways, you can follow me on Instagram. The link to my Instagram and all the links that I have mentioned, again, they are in the description box. So that was your reading. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will connect with you next time. Bye. Hello, my dear. Option number 3. So if you have chosen the 3rd card, welcome guys to your reading. So let's look into your father, your relationship with them, and what is the impact or the effects that this relationship still has on your adulthood, or on you at this particular moment, and what you can do about it. So before starting this particular reading, it's not really to look into the how your parents, they did not deliver when it comes to being a good parent or not. I feel like in our societies we hold the concepts of motherhood and fatherhood to standards that are not humanly achievable, and as we are imperfect as human beings, also as parents we are imperfect, and our relationship with our father and also our mother, and maybe anyone that we hold up to a standard, it's really not supposed to be perfect. So the a reason, or maybe the why I wanted, or I felt like I needed to do this reading, is to look into, like, more so just to see what you can depart from, or what you can do, and what we can learn from our connection, from our connection with our parents, and if there is anything that we can do so that we can live a better life, and let go of certain negative impacts that might still be lingering within us. So the first thing that I have heard when it comes to your father is that they have been absent. They have been absent. So either for some of you, you have never knew your father. You never knew them. For others, maybe you have known them, but maybe they have traveled for work, or maybe they have been working a lot, or as an example, maybe your parents, they were separated and you have seen them very rarely. I really feel like there is a disconnect between you and your father. And for some of you, already heard about them, or for some of you also, as I have told you earlier, you know absolutely nothing about them. But there is an absence. This is what I see, an absence, and I feel like there is this feeling within you of if only I had this father, if only I had a connection with my father, if only there was this guardian, maybe that was giving me the direction, or maybe they giving me the wisdom that I needed, the protection that I needed. So there are a lot of if only this person was around. So I'm hearing your person, or your father. I'm hearing they were not supposed to be there. I don't know what it means. First, let's see with the cards. They were not supposed to be there. Why? Justice. So with this justice, like something took them away. Something took them away. It could be through death, and I'm sorry if it is the case. For others, something that was bigger than them. We're gonna look into that. So there is a reason. It's not like your father, they were not around just because they wanted to, or just because it was their own decision. For some of you also, they had maybe to travel for work because this was the only means through which they could provide, or they could have like a good living. And also for those of you maybe that your father and your mother, they separated, I feel like it was inevitable. It was inevitable. And sometimes we get certain information from a parent about the situation and how it was, and we rarely get the true image, or maybe the true information, or how things really happened. But I feel very strongly when it comes to you, your father was not around as much, or not around at all, for a very valid reason. So let's get some cards. Faithful, yeah. So I'm getting that there is a connection with tradition, marriage, faith, also with death. So also for some of you that you lost your father at a very young age, I'm really sorry that it is the case. I also feel like in here there was something that was almost like dead, like there is no building afterwards. So when it comes to your father and your mother, like something like a rift happened, and there was no way for this rift to be repaired, or for things to go back to be the way that they were. What is this? Two of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. So with those two cards, I really feel like your connection with your father and your mother, it didn't happen in like it's not like they decided to be together, but something really pushed them to be together. It could be that you have a sibling, or you yourself, maybe your mother was pregnant before a marriage, or while one of them was in a relationship, and everything changed. Like the whole situation, it got really sticky and complicated afterwards. So with those two cards, I really feel like it was the right thing to do, but it wasn't something that at least one of your parents wanted, or thought about, or really desired. It's really something that they had to do. There is a great emphasis on duty, on doing the right thing, even if it's going to be blowing everything away. So I really feel like it's either your father or your mother. They were in a relationship when things happened, and like their relationship really is built on, I'm hearing, on nothing. Like it's really two people that decided to do the right thing, and it has nothing to do with them being in a relationship, or them actually wanting to get married, or wanting to have a home or a family. And also, I feel like with this justice card, whatever the information, or whatever the thing that you received or that you have understood about your parents, it's half truth, I'm hearing. And your parents, both of them equally, they have a role in how things have developed afterwards. This is what I really would like to emphasize with this justice card. And also with this faithfulness, they try to make things better. They try to start anew, to do things the way that they were supposed to be. But again, something that was built on nothingness, on very like shaky grounds, it's not, it doesn't have the potential to go the long run, like to go for life, or maybe to be strong enough to like to be a home, to be a family. This is really what I see. So I really feel their energy like very weak in your life. So it's either that they were not there at all, or they were there just for a short period of time. But I'm hearing with this justice card again, it's really something that there was no other way, I'm hearing. I'm hearing it could be just for one or two of you, but this is something that is very strong. I feel like your father might have been even married when they met your mother, and they chose their marriage. And sometimes we think about that in a very negative way, but again, we need to go back to the basis of two people making a decision that was not right for either of them. So again, the responsibility is very much shared, and it's not really something that it's not fair to put it just on one person. What is the effect of not really having your father around still has on you, or maybe receiving some negative information about them? Six of Cups. Yeah, if only I had the childhood that maybe my friends had, or this is the nostalgia, reminiscing on the past, on how things would have been. The Star. And the Emperor. Yeah, you have an image about your father, and that is all there is. I really feel like your father at this particular moment, or even when you were a child, The only thing that you received about them is the information that your mother told you about them, or maybe certain very rare occasions when you were together. For some of you, you were never really together at all. And this is really what I see, an absence of a father figure. And sometimes in here with those two cards, because the card of the star is also the card of healing, and also with this emperor, I'm hearing the absence of masculinity, or the absence of the father figure, allows you to stay in this state of feeling okay, not maybe having maybe partners or people, generally speaking, that last. I feel like you have been in very frivolous or very volatile relationships where people, they were there for a certain period of time and then they disappear. For partners that are there just for a short period of time. Also, I'm here looking for people that are very visibly not available, as in people that are already in a relationship, or people that, as an example, they are away from you and not investing realistically, invisibly, a lot of effort into with the both of you being together. I'm hearing people that are there, but not really. What can you do? Six of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. I feel like with those two cards, the cards are asking you almost like a question. Is it something that you want for the rest of your life, or do you want something else? And this is really the basis, like the first thing that is needed from you actually to look into at this particular moment is to reflect on your connections that are very short-lived. Is it something that you want for the rest of your life? Because I feel like with this Knight of Swords and the Six of Cups, if nothing changes, basically nothing changes. So if there is no reflection on how you connect with others, on who are the people that you allow in your inner circle, especially romantically, there is nothing that is going to change, because you're going to be looking at the same energy, the same connections, the same behaviors in different people. So this is really a question that needs to be answered. Do you want to be in those kind of relationships even in the future? Like, and you can reflect even right now on the connections that you had so far and see if there is anything in common. And you're gonna find a lot of things in common between people that you have been with in the past. And it is a cycle that it is possible for it to repeat over and over and over again in the future. So this is really the first step that I see. And in here with the Six of Pentacles, I really feel like there is a need for a new experience. And this, because the Six of Pentacles is the card of charity, the card of volunteering, the card of giving and receiving, not in the same way. I really feel like this is not romantic at all. As an example, you give someone in need something and they give you, as an example, their appreciation. It's not something that people look for when they are being charitable, but it is how it is. This is really how things are, basically. So I feel like if you can connect with people that connect with each other almost like as a family. It could be an organization, an institution, some sort of a place where you can volunteer, where you can meet other people that are almost like they're giving away this fatherly energy and stepping up, giving people, or maybe allowing people to get the things that they need, helping others. It is really going to be of great benefit to you, and you're going to be departing from this very singular, I feel like this connection that your parents had, it really was something that is not, it was quite rare. It's not something that all people they had or all people they have been in. There have been certain very specific circumstances that maybe pushed you and your father and your mother maybe to make certain decisions that they felt like it was really the right thing to do. But I feel like with those two cards, it's time for a new experience that it is going to allow you to, if you were to make a decision, it is going to allow you to open your eyes to different ways of connecting to others, in different ways through which like safety, protection, help, providing for others could be expressed and could be received. What is going to happen if you were to take this advice into consideration? The Chariot came out sideways, so I feel like in here with this Chariot that came out like that, you're gonna know why you're making these decisions that you are making, or why you are falling for certain people and not others. And I feel like in here there is a change of course. Absolutely, there is a change. Even like when you feel like, why am I falling in love with those kind of, why? Sometimes we think about love in a romantic way, in almost like a magical way. We fall in love with others, but our psyche and also our deepest imprints that we have within us, they have the impact to orientate our emotions to be connected with certain people and not others. And I feel like you opening yourself to maybe new kind of connections and seeing people behaving in a different way from what you have been accustomed to and what you have seen is going to allow you to change this course, to fall for different people, to connect with different people, and to allow different energies and different people, generally speaking, into your life. So I'm seeing here number 7. Number 7 is a very spiritual number, and I'm hearing changing the course of your life with this star also. And 7 months are very significant. So 7 months from when you're going to be making this decision and involving yourself with maybe new situations where you're going to see people behaving differently, I feel like it's really going to be changing the course of your life. And this particular option, it's really something that is quite big. It's not something that it's just a simple change. It's really, really something that is going to change the course of your life in a very considerable way. So that was your reading, my dear. Option number 3. If you would like to book your own private reading, you can book it directly through the website that is shared in the description box. Please let me know down below how the messages resonated with you. I always love to read your comments. If you would like to get notified when new videos are going to be up on the channel, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell. And for your donations, if you would like to support my work, support the channel, you can donate through the donation link in the description or through the super thanks here on YouTube. And lastly, for your daily and weekly messages and monthly giveaways, you can follow me on Instagram. The link to my Instagram and all the links that I have mentioned, again, they are in the description box. So that was your reading. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will connect with you next time. Bye. Hello, my option number 4. So if you have chosen the 4th card, welcome guys to your reading. In this reading, I had the calling to do this reading, and not to criticize or not to portray one of your parents, here your father, in like neither a good or a bad way, but sometimes in our societies we hold certain relationships or certain concepts as father and mother up to very, very high standards and almost up to perfection. And as human beings, we're not perfect, and a father or a mother, it really doesn't matter. they're not supposed to be perfect either, and our relationship with them is not supposed to be perfect. So in here in this reading, the intention is to look into maybe certain parts of your relationships, or what you can reflect on when it comes to how your father was or how they are even right now, what kind of relationship you had with them, and if there is any effects that this relationship still has on you up to this particular moment, and what you can do about it. So it's all about maybe departing from certain things that you don't want anymore, or certain things that do not serve you in your life, and it's all that matters, or this is really the intention when it comes to this reading. So let's start right away and look into your father. So I feel quite a bit of passiveness in terms of your father. So it could be that your mother was very much overbearing, or they didn't really have a lot of, like their role was very limited in the household. And I feel like in terms of decisions, in terms of a lot of things maybe that were important in your like family unit, they took the back seat. I feel like also your father, there is this feeling of not being able to rely on them. So maybe you have understood that maybe if there is anything that you need to do, you need to do it yourself. You cannot count on your father. Maybe they didn't keep certain promises when you were very young. They told you that they are going to do something and they never did. And it's really have given you the information that you need to be independent in a way that you cannot count on other people, or you cannot count on another person to do something that is very important to you. And it's not to think about being independent as like a negative trait. It is a very positive one. But at the same time, as human beings, we cannot do everything on our own. We have to delegate certain things, or we're going to just feel overwhelmed. And we're going to take more than we can, basically, in terms of our work, in terms of our relationship. I feel like when it comes to you, and what you have understood, generally speaking, is that you need to be on the driver's seat. In whatever the case, the circumstances that you're in, it could be even professionally, you need to take charge of maybe certain tasks. It's very difficult for you to delegate things that are of great importance to you. So let's get some cards right now and look into your father. So who is your father? The moon. I'm hearing that they were very silent. And again, the moon is a very feminine energy. I feel like the energy of your mother is overbearing. It's like too, like it enveloped them in a way. Like your mother was making the decisions. Your mother was saying what needed to be done. And I feel like when it comes to you, they really were on the back seat. And you don't know much about your father, I'm hearing. It's like they were not really very expressive. They didn't say much in terms of maybe what they wanted, what they were doing. I feel like your father was also very much a hard worker. They were really doing anything that they could. They were. I'm hearing that your father, they buried themselves within the relationship that they had with your mother. I feel like marriage, like your mother, it really was what was emphasized and what was the most important thing. And I feel like almost like at this card, they were taken... I'm hearing being instructed to do certain things, or being shown how things were supposed to be. And also I feel like the energy, or maybe the impact of your father, it had the impact on, not really on them being there, but more so on them having very light and weak impact, generally speaking, within the family unit. Let's get more cards. Ace of Pentacles. Three of Swords. I feel like your father, they might have experienced a big disappointment, especially on one particular area of their life. It could be, as an example, that they have started a business and it failed miserably, or that they wanted to achieve something that was quite big and then they have failed. And I feel like them not being able, or them like in the past, because they were not able maybe to create the things that they wanted, they feel within themselves as they were a failure, and they needed instructions, they needed to take orders, and to just live by as a person that is not really of great value. They're not maybe providing the things that they needed to provide. I feel like they might have made promises to your mother, or to you, generally speaking, to like their family, and they didn't deliver. It could be also that they have something have like crashed in their life, something crashed, and there was no repairing it, so maybe they lost their business. There was a big loss that really had a big impact on them, on their self-esteem, on how they see themselves, on how they behave, and it really wrecked them in a very significant way. So what is the impact that this relationship that you had with your father still has on you to this day? What is the impact? Those are two cards. We have here the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Swords, wow, swords, 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 Seven of Swords. I feel like you're being very, when it comes to approaching maybe something that you want, you're very calculated in terms of maybe being very structured, being very organized. I feel like there is an emphasis here on control, controlling the circumstances that you are in, not wanting things to slip from your hands, also in here with those two cards. And I feel like in here, you feel like you have this great need to be in charge with this Knight of Swords, to be the one that takes initiative, to be the one that goes out there and make things happen. And also I feel like with this Seven of Swords, you feel like giving something away. It's like from 8 to 7, like giving one thing of this particular like plan that you have to someone else. It's gonna be ruining everything. Like you cannot trust other people with whatever the things that you want to do, or whatever, like if it is a project, if it is even a partner, you feel like you need to cook, you need to take care of the kids, you need to take them to school, you need to, because your partner is not going to be able to do things in a good way. You need to wash the dishes, because your partner, they cannot wash the dishes properly. You need to do everything basically. And it could be something that you have noticed also with your mother. Your mother was doing everything, and you feel like the only thing that your father, they had to do, they failed. They failed you as a family. Anything else? I forgot to get one more card. Let's see what it is. Anything else, please? What is the effect that it still has on you? Ten of Cups. So this is the only cup card. That is different in here. There's only swords. And when it comes to the cups card, in here, I really feel like because here the only cup card here, we have the Three of Swords. And with this Ten of Cups, you need to be on top of things to keep the harmony, to keep things flowing, to keep things just the way that is going to be permitting everyone to be happy. I feel like it's not really about you maybe feeling passionate or feeling like everything is going to be all right if I'm going to be taking the lead, but you feel like you need to do that. Otherwise, everything is going to crumble. Like, who is going to be, if I'm not going to be washing the dishes, who is going to be washing the dishes? Even if your partner, for those of you that are in a relationship, and this is really just an example, if they're going to be maybe doing something, it's really gonna be not right. Like, they're not gonna be doing it right, and it's really permitting the other person to like depart. It's going to be also for some of you also, I've heard that earlier, when it comes to your career, or maybe when it comes to your job, you feel like you are taking more than you can, and at the same time other people, even if they are there maybe to contribute, to maybe for you to delegate to them the things that are needed for you to delegate, you feel like it's not going to be in the way that you wanted them to be. And with this card also, it's a card of advice, like reflect on what you can delegate. This energy, it's not something that you can hold for a very long time, and I feel like it's something that you have witnessed also with your mother. Your mother might have been sick repeatedly, or like exhausted, feeling like her life is all about responsibility, and it's not really it's not a way to live. It's not a way that you can maintain. It's not about you maybe wanting to do things. Like, a lot of people, they take a lot of different tasks, but when it comes to you particularly, it's not really something sustainable. What can you do, please? Hierophant in reverse. How do you feel about the concept? Because here we have the Six of Wands also. How do you feel about the concept of not being in charge? Does it scare you? Does it frustrate you? Like, how do you feel about that? If I'm gonna be right now losing control, what is gonna happen? Like, imagine, like, are you gonna live in chaos? Are you gonna is there anything negative that is going to happen if you were to absolutely lose control and give this control away, maybe to a partner, to like a coworker, to someone that lives with you, or someone that is close to you? What is going to happen? Like, you need really to reflect on this question. How would you feel if you were to lose like this, to be on a passenger seat, as an example, not to drive, let someone else drive? Are you gonna crash? Are you gonna go to a different direction, or maybe to arrive in a different destination? Like, what is gonna happen? Ace of Cups. I'm hearing here a professional, because in here with this Ace of Cups, you can see with this dove is putting one coin in this cup. I feel like right now you can really appease yourself, or you can take a break by looking for professional, a professional service that is going to be allowing you to delegate something. So as an example, someone that can maybe come to your home and clean around from time to time, like it could be once a week or twice a week. Look for a professional that can help you. I feel like this is the first step. The first step for you is right now to like you need some you need a timeout. I'm hearing you need that before reflecting on what you can do and where things are going to be taking you. Right now, reflect on how you're going to feel if you were maybe to let go of certain responsibilities, and look really, it's I'm hearing you really need to do that at this particular moment, to look for how you can let go of certain tasks that you do, on a daily basis. As an example, if you prepare your food every single day before you go to your work, find a way through which maybe you can delegate this particular task. It could be maybe a cafeteria, ask them if it is possible for them to prepare certain things for you. Or as an example, if you are doing everything on your own in terms of preparing your workouts, as an example, if you go to the gym, maybe look for just a consultation, like one consultation or two from like a trainer, so that they could help you, so that you can give your mind a break. Like you're thinking about everything in all these steps, all the tasks. I feel like this is gonna reach a place where you're gonna feel really overwhelmed. And again, I'm hearing that you might even have experienced that, like you keep at it until you reach a point where you maybe get sick or you get overwhelmed. And this is really the cards are asking you right now to reflect on how you can delegate. First, professionally, someone that actually they know what they're doing. And I feel like the transition is going to be change, like things are going to change little by little, but I feel like there is a need for you to reflect on your need to take control on everything that has a connection to you, to your work, to your family, to your tasks, everyday tasks. It's going to be even like cleaning, like the most minor tasks. You have this need to actually be on top of them and to do the things that are needed, or like in the way that you feel like it's supposed to be. But it is really important for you to look into this particular thing at this particular moment, all right? So what is going to happen if you were to take this advice into consideration? Queen of Pentacles. Like a gentle way of being on top of whatever the things that are needed from you, or whatever the like your responsibilities. And I feel like also because it's right next to the Moon card, it's a very motherly card. It's a very nurturing card. I feel like you're gonna have the time, or have even like the mental capability to take care of yourself more in a nurturing way, not in a pragmatic way, like almost like a train that goes only in one direction, but you just relax, allow yourself to enjoy certain things that you have built around you. So if you are, as an example, right now you have a job, maybe to enjoy the salary a little bit more, to enjoy the things that you are doing a little bit more, and not to feel like I'm just the employer, I'm the person that takes charge of maybe this project or this particular thing. To warm up to the idea of right now I need to relax, I need to take a step back, I need to not think about maybe what I'm gonna need to do on Monday, or what I'm gonna have to cater to in terms of my family, or in terms of my responsibilities. I'm hearing a gentler approach to being responsible, into being there for people that you care about, including yourself. All right. So that was your reading, my dear option number 4. If you would like to book your own private reading, you can book it directly through the website that is shared in the description box. Let me know down below how the messages resonated with you. I really always love to read your comments. If you would like to support my work or support the channel, you can donate through the donation link in the description box, or through the super thanks here on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the channel to get notified when a new video is going to be up, and click also on the notification bell. And for your daily and weekly messages and monthly giveaways, you can follow me on Instagram. The link to my Instagram and all the links that I have mentioned, again, they are in the description box. So that was your reading. I'm sending you lots of love, and I will connect with you next time. Bye.